Tap quick save. Haven't done it in a while. Dusty pews in the shadows. Many seem to be missing. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. So, the lady who was the wife of the cryptozoologist guy, she said that he loses track of time and will work for days and not even notice. I'm wondering if they're in there and they haven't even realized they've been locked in for a week. Or if they're, like, starved. An altar shrouded in dark or something like that. It's too dark to tell. Wait, is that money? Is that money? Yes, 48 cents. Nice. Here's such a hobo. The sign reads St. Brune, 1147.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Take a closer look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting.
Look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead.
Have you seen the symbol before? Point to it.
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
What is suggestive of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
Thus, it must be made by youths.
Try to peel off the sticker without ripping it.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Put the sticker in your ledger after the last entry where it belongs.
Looks like today was a gold star day.
Plus 10 XP. Inspect the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Run your hand over a beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
Open the padlock with the key.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
The lieutenant nods at you. Pull on the doors.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. Its black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city.
Whoa. What? Like a TARDIS, this church is bigger on the inside. A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. And now I'm running. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. Feels like it's trying to become one with the church. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Something to do with radio frequencies? The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. Could these wires work as contact microphones?
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, you can hardly hear your own breathing.
Stomp your feet and clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
I don't want to do this. Why is this the only option? Yell as loud as I can.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
Turn to Kim. What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Can't hear shit.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is.
Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something odd is happening around us.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower.
So this would be the worst place ever for a music club. The whole place, like, mutes music. Mutes sound. Perception. Try to see beyond the shadows. 42%. I did it! We're gonna see a crab man?
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
Follow the shadow's movements.
It's not a shadow anymore.
Right there?
Becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
The lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is that you are seeing.
Oh no. You've lost sight of it. Where did it go?
On the ceiling?
Yes. The darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away.
Blink.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Autosave.
The shadow is a man. A man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently.
This is the police. Show yourself.
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be all right. You come to the right place.
The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality.
It's like an indoor Tarzan.
Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
I know it's hard to admit that you got a problem. I was like you once. Couldn't take an honest look into my own heart and see I was in pain.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
You know, for some reason, I feel like you have a point there.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
His voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
This Mother of Silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be careful until you find out what you're dealing with.
Let's see. You must be the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
It's your neighbors who came up with the name, not me.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
What were you before you became a crab man?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
I lost my memory too, and it haunts me.
No, man. You gotta let that shit go. Then the mother's light touch will fill you with rapture.
Imagine if I went back to my cop precinct and they're like, "Hey, I lost my memory. Also, I lost my badge. Got that back. I lost my gun. I don't know who's got it, and I crashed my car." And they're like, "What?" And they start to yell at you, and you're like, "No, man, you gotta let that shit go." Dude, I don't think that would fly.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to assert some control over the conversation.
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name's Harry. Extend your hand for a greeting.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
He ignores your hand, his limbs a mere shadow below the ceiling. Do you know where the other spooker is? Point at the strange machines around you.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa.
Is this Spanish?
Don't know, Holmes.
Chat, what did he say? Estudiosa makes me think study? Maybe like the guy studying? Right, thanks. I'll see if I can find her some other way.
You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
He shrugs. What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Estudiosa is person who studies a lot. Okay. And who's the mother of silence you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, Ese. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, at one with the state of the world before reality began.
I still don't understand what you're doing in the church.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Nod. Singing's good. We should all sing a little more.
I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. It's the singing of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound.
How did you even find this place, this church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me.
And you're sure you didn't just switch one drug for another one?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
I guess you have a point. Proceed.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
Right, I have other questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams.
You've been here a
blending
long time.
into
Do you
the
know why the
shadows.
church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
He responds, his voice suddenly flat.
Did you witness it?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside? Right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me.
Do they have reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
So what do you think about the nightclub that is?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go.
So he just goes up there and enjoys the silence.
Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Alright, thanks. +1 pain threshold scarf. A figure drawn in frost on the window depicting a deer. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A cracked pane of glass, colorful. A spider has spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. +1 empathy shoes. For when you have to show you're empathic. 2 decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty. A portable Harman Waushi tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something?
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Oh, it's one of those things that plays the cubes.
Another radio computer.
Yeah, that.
And this time it's already turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yes, but this machine looks just like the one in the doomed commercial area.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to touch anything. Chat, the boy is here to tell me goodnight. I'll be back in just a minute. All right, we're back. Okay.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer.
Oh. Hold on, how do windows pop up? Wait, let me just investigate it. Step behind the computer.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Look inside the compartment.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater.
Press play.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon.
Oh, it's her again.
Accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Yvonne, it's me again. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
I looked inside the core, but the tape on the filament just said log, February to March.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Fortress accident, like the one in the doomed commercial area?
I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun, that's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghislaine? That's the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with?
Thanks. I'm finished with this call.
Goodbye, Fortress accident.
She says as her voice disappears into a whirl of
The
static.
machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Leave. Alright, so we got a giant stained glass window looking thing and a hole in it with snow.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty.
It looks like the artist made her lungs glowing through her chest.
This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs,
Yep.
clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
Kneel.
Your knees touch the floor. The
Flop.
floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass.
Look up.
The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse?
It's compassion.
As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Do the same as you get up.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
Encyclopedia, medium 10. How did I know this is the mother of humanism?
Despite the damage you've done
Nice.
to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
Was there something terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her.
No. Was there something bad about her? I want to know.
You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her terriers. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs.
What happened?
The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb. in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic, mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband.
5 XP.
It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her.
Lieutenant Yefreiter, you've stood there for over 5 minutes.
The lieutenant's calm voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
She's beautiful.
That she is. A great sacred piece. I wonder what we are doing here, however.
He takes his glasses off to clean them.
In this church, I mean. The coast in general. We shouldn't linger. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
This is Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Ravachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
Okie dokie.
Okie dodo.
He whispers in the silence of the great
A
building.
touch of absurdity there. Nice.
Visual calculus. Alright, turn away. Do I have anything that affects visual calculus? Maybe the glasses? We'll find out in a moment. +1 visual calculus. This jacket gives +1 visual calculus. Someone's siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna.
The mother of humanism stands above you.
Reconstruct the cracked
A precious
glass.
and complex wax painting. A jigsaw of
Nice.
broken shards
Whoa.
falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text. A light motif below them both.
What shattered the mosaic? This reminds me of
Unknown.
Octopath Traveler 2 when Temenos would reconstruct crime scenes.
A motor carriage, a gunshot, someone falling into it, or maybe just hooligans looking for something to break.
Who's the older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the
Reichsapfel?
queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men. Worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, 30 years, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
The motto? What does it say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau.
Lieutenant, this used to say afterlife, death, after...
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again.
Continue.
This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
What's the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
I like the other one better.
So do I.
Step back.
The mother of humanism towers above you. A wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
Turn away. So I was thinking that was like a doorway and we could walk through that, but... No? Alright, I guess I've interacted with everything in here. Unless I get the password for that computer thing.